Well, hi for Nye. You join us this week from my brother's room in Kent. While he's away at university, I'm using this as a place to stay while I work nearby. This week has been the kind of week where you're making a friend a cup of tea, and you ask, "Would you take sugar?"
"2, please."
But after spooning in the sugar, you go to the drawer only to find you're out of clean spoons. So you have no choice but to try your finger.
How's that?
"Not really."
When that doesn't work, you try the tea bag.
And that?
"Not really."
The power of your mind.
This time?
"Not really."
And a knife.
"Oh, it'll do."
So in future, you determine to keep a few knives handy to stir those cups of sugary tea. Huh? Tito, don't be silly. You know what I mean?
The Graticast, Episode 29, Harassing Otters.
Now, regular viewers will know that the Graticast began when I complained to a friend about how financial, career and relationship hardship had left me near suicidal, and she replied by telling me about how she had ME, sometimes called chronic fatigue-syndrome, a disease that every so often would leave her inexplicably immobile with a mix of drowsiness and severe pain. Her story inspired me to focus more on counting my blessings, whilst also trying to raise funds for research into an effective treatment for ME, or even better, a prevention. But just before I went to Turkey, a whole spate of news headlines declared,
Chronic fatigue syndrome sufferers can benefit from exercise. Chronic fatigue syndrome patients' fear of exercise can hinder treatment. Exercise can help with ME. Fear of exercise exacerbates chronic fatigue syndrome. Sufferers need to try and get up out of bed if they want to get better.
Now admittedly, on the face of it, this all looks pretty sensible. For most of us, a bit of exercise gets the metabolism going. You may be sleepy if you wake up at 5 AM to walk the dog, go for a jog, or roast a hog, but afterwards you'll probably find you can't easily go back to bed. And not just because of the pork-hungry vultures circling overhead. But ME doesn't work like that. The illness stops muscles recovering in the way they normally would, and repeated exercise can in fact cause real damage and pain. And in a few cases, like for British citizen Sophia Mirza in 2005, it's even been fatal, despite the BBC describing the programme as gentle graded exercise. Now, I'm no expert, but if I knew that other people with my condition had actually literally been killed by exercise, I might not be so keen to throw my running shoes on. Now you may think,
Hold on, Chip. You're no scientist, but these folks are. Surely they'd have used proper scientific method to draw their conclusions before going to press.
and I'd forgive you for that thought, although you're on thin ice with the accent. True, I'm no scientist, but I'm no idiot either. And when I look further, I find that reality differs quite substantially from the headlines. To start with, the original trial was to see whether mental therapy and graded exercise could assist proper medical care, and it found that, in a few cases, it did. But importantly, it said these treatments might assist proper medical care, not that they should be the proper medical care. The recent study tried to find a scale of benefit for these additional treatments and found that they were less effective for patients with a fear of exercise, which is a bit, well, duh. But still, it didn't say that exercise should be the main treatment for ME. Neither did it say that fear of exercise can hinder treatment, as The Guardian put it. And it certainly didn't say that fear of exercise exacerbates ME, as The Telegraph put it. Exercise has made ME worse, but fear of it alone hasn't. The biggest issue with the headlines, though, is that they give the general public, lesser experienced medical professionals, and even politicians completely the wrong idea. Since they suggest exercise and mental therapy are the solutions, two nice and cheap treatments, politicians are more than happy to let these be the prescriptions from their national health services. That's partly why in Denmark, local authorities allowed police to accompany psychiatrists to the home of Karina Henson, forcibly removing her from the care of her parents, where she was about to receive some private medical care, and instead subject her only to exercise and mental therapy. All accounts suggest she now has brain damage as a result. Since learning of my friend's condition, I've read several articles in medical journals, spoken with professors closely involved with researching the condition, and even interviewed the Vice Chair of ME Research UK live here on YouTube. And I found that a vast majority of the physiological medical profession observe ME begins usually with some sort of virus being contracted by the body, something like the flu or even tonsillitis, that the body fails to recover from properly. The reason why is still unknown, but it's obvious that it's a real debilitating disease. Many are left bedbound by it, which made Dr. Nancy Klimas, an American expert on immune disorders, declare that she'd rather have AIDS than ME. Okay, her lifespan would be shortened, but her quality of life in the meantime would be substantially better. So, shouldn't we be conducting proper medical trials to find the causes of ME? Then maybe, instead of trying to find the best treatment from among a select bunch of questionable ones, we could get on and, well, as Tito said at the beginning of this video, just clean the damn spoon. ME affects 10 times more people in the UK than AIDS. The media may not be helping us raise money for biomedical research into it, but charities like ME Research UK and Invest in ME are. If you want to help scientists find real causes and effective treatments for ME, then please follow the links in the description box below to donate. Or show your support for free just by enjoying the Graticast. Share these videos with your friends and encourage them to subscribe for free, and any ad revenue profit we receive from YouTube will go straight to supporting that research. You can also support us by counting blessings with us, like Lucy on Facebook, who gave a shout out of thanks to her friend for the gift of a bass guitar and lessons. What an awesome gift, Lucy, I'm pretty jealous. Sue Cranmer on Twitter was grateful to music blogger Roger Quayle for taking her down the musical memory lanes of Sheffield in the late 1970s. I'll link to the blog below. Mum Catherine Taylor gave a shout out of thanks to Henry Norman Hotel in Brooklyn for the hospitality they showed her and her boys. Thames Valley Police thanked all in the Chesham community who helped track a missing woman, who is thankfully now safe and well. And the British Trust for Ornithology thanked Viola Ross Smith, this week's curator for BioTweets, a Twitter feed with tweets by a different biologist every week. Here are some of Viola's amazing pictures, and you can go over some of her tweets at the Storyfy link in the More Info box below. Now, we had several nominations for this week's Gratitune, but the winner was nominated twice. It's Bruno Mars with Uptown Funk, a real uplifting tune made doubly uplifting here by the video recorded from the theatre students of A. Maceo Smith New Tech High School in Dallas. Thanks, Dawn, for sharing that video with me, and you folks can enjoy it next by following the link to the Gratitune at the end of this video. So finally, thank you for watching. Before I leave you though, one last thing. If you can only find a Phillips screwdriver when you actually need a flathead, remember, take it easy. The best screws are never rushed. Stay thankful, and ciao for now.
Uptown